when people talk about white monopoly capital, I don't rationalize. I talk about monopoly capital.
Yes.
Because you could actually have a white person treating you better in a corporate or in an organization than your own so-called brother or sister. They sometimes they get worse.
Yes.
They become worse than their predecessors in this exploitation game. So
it's important to go after the cancer itself and not spare the people.
Absolutely.
To say, no, it's a black owned, white, or no, we're going after the corruption.
Absolutely. Out of these millions, they are shared amongst publishers.
So they take it, then they split it equally amongst the publishers.
Martin, market share.
Market share.
University has got more artists, so they're overpaid. Definitely. 125,000 per meeting. 80,000 per meeting. So they're wasting our money. Imagine per year how much we pay.
Yes.
Imagine.
There could be better
artists
uses
are
for
dying
that
as
money.
paupers.
Yes. Sure.
It's a crime scene.
Everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Spotlight Podcast with me, your host, Nolu Malope. First, before we get into today's episode, I would like to thank everyone who has liked, who keeps commenting, who has subscribed to the channel, and also ask that the rest of you who haven't do so right now. We like to be very interactive on this channel, so as you watch the episode, please comment, share your thoughts, and then make sure that as I speak right now, and I give you this long speech, you click that subscribe button as we speak, okay? So that we can keep bringing you great conversations, great industry insight, and great guests. Talking of great guests, in studio with me today, I have somebody that is going to help us unpack the big scandal that has hit the music industry. I think yet again, because this is not the first time that we've heard of this organization being tied to financial scandals, but he's going to give us the update as to what is happening right now and why you at home should care. So, allegedly, I'm going to probably have to say that a lot of times today. Allegedly, the organization Samro has a couple of board members who have been stealing money that is meant to go to artists. And instead of paying the money out to the artists or finding the unclaimed funds, the right beneficiaries for them, they've been taking this unclaimed royalty money and putting it into their own pockets. Now, as you can hear, instead of the organization protecting the rights of artists as they should be doing, they seem to be the very same people that are exploiting the artists. And that is why this matters. We're tired of complaining that artists are dying poor. We're tired of complaining that there's no money in the entertainment industry. When you look into it, you know, you go and you take your little microscope and you check in the back what's happening, you find that the same executives that are meant to be protecting artists are the same ones that are exploiting them. To help us unpack this is Mr. Tebogo Sithathu, who is not only a Samro member, but also the chairperson of the United Civil Society in Action. And you are a man of action.
Hallelujah.
That we know.
Yeah, absolutely.
How are you today?
I'm blessed. Thank you very much. And thank you for inviting me and for insisting that I come.
I had to.
Yeah.
I watched every interview and you are one of the people that made this a topic in my world. Like I was like, sometimes you read articles and then you're like, okay, again, Samro, again. And then you actually, by speaking out so much, really you shine the light on why this is such an important conversation to have.
Absolutely.
So I wanted you to come and shine the light here on the spotlight about this whole issue. But for those that don't know who you are, they don't know your background, they don't know why you're so passionate about music and musicians being paid their dues. Please let them know who you are.
Thank you. And good, is it evening or morning?
YouTube, good day, good evening.
Good morning. It's always a good morning to me, according to the Bible. So first of all, thank you for inviting me. And my name is Tebogo Sithathu. They call me Disruptor. The Disruptor, but I'm a positive one.
Yes.
Yeah. In that I call myself God's battle axe. You know that scripture, Timothy 5.
Firstly, you've worked in the industry for a very long time. I think for as long as I can remember, if not Maybe when I was born, even you had started singing. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But you started, you know, as a musician and then
Yes.
moved on and took up a lot of roles. Can you just take us shortly through that journey?
But your dad, by the way, I have to mention your dad, may his soul rest, blessed soul rest in peace, was my mentor.
Was he?
Vocally, actually. Remember his band, Zasha?
Zasha, yeah.
I was listening to them when I was at high school, so you were not around yet.
I wasn't around, yes.
But Bring Up Over was a powerful song I was listening to when I was still in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, from there, so I'm Tebogo Sithathu, like I said, I'm a born-again Christian, never been ashamed of the gospel, so everyone should know that.
Yeah.
I declare my allegiance to Christ.
Yes.
He loved me too much. I can never love him more than he loves me. So I'm a musician, songwriter, composer, singer, producer.
Yes.
I formed a popular band called The Twins. Back in the 90s, it was my idea. It was my intellectual property. So God gives me ideas.
Yes.
Even before I was born again, God blessed me with beautiful ideas because of the Twins band in the 90s went on to disrupt the music industry.
Yes, it was very successful.
And remember at that time, R&B was like considered an American genre.
It was very American,
Yes, but we brought it home.
Yes,
we made it in such a way that is spiced with our traditional riches of music, the culture, mixing ubonga and stuff like that. You remember your songs like Engiyasha. You remember those songs? Shona Pansi, Love 10,000. So we made a mark, we made an impact as the Twins, and we are still close to a point up until recent. I spilled the beans for the first time in another podcast because of something happened which I didn't like, but we're still brothers. We haven't lost love for one another. But then I went on to start various and contribute in forming many organizations as an activist in the music industry. I was the man who started the first Gospel Music Association of South Africa. In my board, I was working with musicians themselves, gospel musicians. It was me, the founding chairman. Collega was my deputy. The late, beautiful Deborah Fraser was my treasurer. The late Solim Hulu was our deputy secretary. Winnie Mashaba was our secretary.
So
that was the
by
initial
artists for artists.
Yeah. And we did beautiful programs. And I have to commend and give credit to the former minister Lulu Qingwana. She had a vision. She understood our vision, and she was our first funder when she was the minister of the Department of Arts and Culture. And it's unfortunate she was removed very quickly. She was really passionate about the arts, unlike all these nonsensical ministers who came and all they do is loot with their friends. So then after the Gospel Music Association, I went to form the Musicians Association of South Africa, which was more now all inclusive, more broadly. And then I was the deputy president of the South African Music Industry Council. SAMIC is still around even now. Vusilie, who is the current president. I always joke with him and say, you guys are not making an impact.
They need the disruptor back.
You understand? So, which other organization? So, but I'm the first person who actually brought the concept of what people call ACO, Association of Independent Record Companies. People, you see, history has no blank pages. It was called ILASA, Independent Labels Association of South Africa. I'm the first person who drafted a concept document of ACO today, which is, we getting complaints that they're doing some Samro shenanigans on their members. So hence I'm saying at a later stage you'll hear how our project of transformation is not just to focus on Samro, but it starts with Samro.
It starts with Samro.
After Samro, we want to go for Sampra, and I'm mentioning them. I'm not scared of them. We'll go to Sampra and check how they're operating, because of more often than not, the modus operandi is the same. The cancer is spread through all of them. So it's like when the cancer gets into one part of the body, it spreads in the whole body.
The rest,
same with the collecting management organizations, just like same with the record companies, how they were ripping off artists.
Yeah.
So after Sampra, Capasso, Rev, you know Rev?
Yes.
For the videos, under Risa, after that, even those, I said it in many interviews, even those that are run by our own brothers, we're not going to spare you just because of you are black.
No, because that's part of corruption. To say no, because it's a black-owned organization, we're not going after you.
Yeah, actually, corruption and I would call it. That's why I don't talk about, when people talk about white monopoly capital. I don't racialize it. I talk about monopoly capital because you could actually have a white person teaching you better in a corporate or in an organization than your own so-called brother or sister. Sometimes they get worse. They become worse than their predecessors in this exploitation game. So
it's important to go after the cancer itself and not spare the people to say no, it's a black-owned, white, or no, we're going after the corruption regardless of race.
I was telling the CEO of Samro this morning that, it's not about you.
It's not a personal.
It's not personal. Even the chair said it's not personal. I said this struggle precedes all of you. We've been fighting all the boards. Go check. History does not lie. You're not the first board, the first executive we are fighting with. It's not about you, it's the system.
It's the system itself. And this is why I wanted you to go through how long you've been a part of the system, how long you've worked in front of the mic as well as behind. Because you've got a full picture of how the industry
360
works.
degrees.
360 degrees. And this is why you're so passionate about it. So let's get into now the issues that, as I said in the intro, it didn't start today. It doesn't start now.
It started many years ago.
It started many years ago, okay? And we won't focus, the issue is about Samro right now because that's the main thing. But I want everyone at home to remember that it's not just about one body. It's about the organizations, the CMOs within the music industry that are all, taking artists' money, systematically taking artists' money. So, with this current issue now, right? We've seen the reports of millions of money being taken by the board. I want you to take us back a little bit. When did you guys first find out about this situation? Were you guys called into a meeting and told, okay, guys, we have a bit of a situation here. Money's gone missing. Money's been taken by executives. Or how does the board, what's the relationship like with you guys? Are they able to openly say, hey, we've got a bit of a problem? When were you guys told?
And this is exactly what I was saying to both the chair and the CEO, because of I'll reflect on the meeting we had this morning for about 3.5 hours to 4 hours. I said, you see, you guys, you are not transparent. The secrecy with which you operate is a problem. And where secrecy breeds what? Mistrust. And we fight every now and then with government to become more transparent. But you are actually becoming more secretive. And I'll give an example. When you speak to certain board members, they will not be open to talk to you, and they say, hey, we sign a confidentiality document there. And I would be so livid. I would be so angry and say, but you as a board member, who's actually in charge? How do you sign something that constrains you?
I get it this way, and this is what conversation is about, I guess, right? So they sign it so that as board members,
they cannot divulge any information.
There's certain information that they must have amongst themselves so that they can run the organization, and there's no, uproar.
Example.
Right?
Samro's chairman gets paid 125,000 per meeting.
Per meeting. I need that job.
Tell me that if it's not insane.
Yes. It's that is a lot per meeting.
It's so-called the independent. There's nothing independent about independent directors. Everyone has got a handler.
Yes.
The other independents get 80,000 per meeting.
Per meeting, okay.
Get how much the composer board members get? 25,000 per meeting. But over and above that, when they chair and sit on the other subcommittees of the board, they get paid more.
Even more, yeah.
So tell me, and we have a country where musicians are dying as paupers.
Yes.
And you tell me something is not wrong. And I always ask a question, why are you guys not angry?
Because, if they're getting paid, maybe it's a role where you get a lot of money. There's certain roles where it's just like, it's a role that you get a lot of money. I think that's one issue that's separate from No, now, in addition to getting paid 120 per meeting, they are now taking artist money.
Yes.
So that's another level of greed,
yes.
you know? And that's what, did they tell you guys upright that, hey, we've got a problem and our problem is that we have identified this?
They're still not telling us.
How did you guys find out?
They commissioned what we call a forensic report.
The report, yes, the Fundudzi report.
And maybe quickly, let me take a few steps backwards. The same was done years ago when they commissioned a forensic report against about Dubai. You remember the Dubai scandal?
The Dubai
where
scandal.
we lost about 480 million. Is it for 48 million of artists?
Has it been paid back or not? No.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Was there any justice?
No justice. In fact, talking about that, it was the first time I attended the general meeting of Samro this year. All along, I stopped for about 3-4 years consecutively. Why I stopped? I asked the question, what's happening with Dubai?
What happened? Yes.
Can we get a full report? Have those people accounted where they found whoever is responsible? Guess the current chairman that I want removed. You know what he said to me? Tebogo, can we just move on?
No.
I don't swear, but I tell you, that's what actually dejected me.
And
I said, I'm wasting my time.
Yes.
And I left the space for about 4 years. People were not seeing me in meetings anymore. I've got a twin brother. We are identical. So people will meet up with him and say, hey, Tebza.
They think it's you.
Yeah, I think it's me. And they say, no, man. He says, no, it's not. Where's Tebza? Uslahlile. You know when artists keep on saying that to your brother. No, your brother uslahlile.
Because you're the activist.
Yes, I'm the activist.
Yes.
And I do it passionately.
You're the mobilizer. You're the one that gets, But then now, if you're going to fight for something just like now, and then as soon as they say, okay, fine, we found the people are guilty, and then that's it, let's move on. What's the point?
What's the point?
Yes.
So then, but after that, and also the partner who's fortunately now a board member, partner to the Dr. Graham Gilfillian, who they used to run NISA in Parktown. So him also, even before he got into the board, he kept on calling me. Hey, come. He calls me, come. Hey, man, I cannot be fighting a losing battle. And especially sometimes, what was more even painful for me is when you are asking questions and you are challenging a report and the very same musicians in the room. They will tell me, it's going to be lunch now. And so I said, guys, I didn't come for lunch.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Samro for many years has been exploiting the lack of knowledge by musicians, and they will get them good lunch. They come to meetings, and when it's about lunchtime, they will drag the meeting so that people get tired. They have lunch. After lunch, nobody is interested.
Meeting. Everyone's tired. They want to go home.
And like in the last EGM, imagine being in a meeting, which I understand, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. By the time we finished, there was about 10 of us out of a room that was more than 100 people. Guess who was the culprit of causing that? That we dragged the meeting for that long? The current chairperson. He kept on dilly-dallying around the issue of us saying, we want to remove the implicated board members. And he kept on defending and stopping us from voting till we eventually said, so Samanji. And get somebody to chair the meeting. But coming back to your question, they are still refusing to give us a forensic report which we've paid for. And when we ask why, they tell us about the hawks and the police. They said it's going to compress the investigation. I just told the CEO and the chair this morning, said, excuse me, who do you report to? To us as members or to the police? Especially against, I'm not saying those police you are talking to are corrupt. Especially now in this environment, against the backdrop of my Langa commission that was set up because of what Mkwanazi general has said. Police and I said, how do you know that they may say don't release the report because of the people implicated have given them money underhanded?
That's the biggest issue, that if they don't release the report, they could be protecting themselves once again.
Yes. If you are not guilty, release the report. And I am so livid because I'm saying only a court order by a competent court can prevent you from releasing the report. There's no court order that says you can't give us a report. It's our report.
So how did you find out what was in the report?
They were giving us sketches.
Okay.
And we had to push who's implicated. Eventually they came out with the names.
Okay,
and
so they came out and told you.
Okay. And then we said, So you are sitting with these people on the board. Are you crazy or what? Are you kidding us?
Have they been suspended, those
We
members that
actually
were
removed
complicit?
them.
You've removed
on the
them.
day, suspended them, removed them, whatever. But guess who was standing in the way of us removing them on the day? The chair. That's why the meeting started from 10 a.m.
until 6.
He kept on. Yeah. And even he says to us, no, but guys, it could be illegal. It could be. Are you kidding me? What could be illegal about removing somebody who's
that has
implicated?
done illegal activities within the same organization?
It's insane how people have been taking us for a ride
for
many years.
Now, okay, so they came to you, they told you.
At the meeting, they told us at the meeting.
These are the 3 members.
Took a decision.
You've got names.
Them.
You've got the names. They removed them.
We've got the names.
What were they guilty of doing, those 3 members?
That's the thing. So they are implicated, but we don't have the detail.
Okay, of exactly what they've done. Okay.
Yeah. Because I've got nothing to do with the evil world or the devil. The word is in the detail. So if you are hiding a report, we actually just know that they have claimed the royalties that never belonged to them.
Yes. So that was divulged to you?
Yes, that was divulged to us. Okay. But you see, there's about top 60 companies that are under names, let me say names, individuals and companies that are under investigation who have claimed these out of the 60 million rand. So there's a 60 million rand claim, there's a 30 million rand claim. Yeah. And so now
and then
Samro,
there's a 3.4 that was also taken.
So now what they're admitting to 3.4. So you think 3.4 is a change? Let's say, let's forget about the others. If you are denying the 60 million and the 30 million. So you are saying to us, it's only 3.4 million. Do you have, how many people have 3.4 million in their account right now? Particularly musicians who are supposed to be owning Samro, but they get less than 100 rand, 200 rand, 500 when they're lucky. I was talking to Yvonne, by the way, last time I was on her podcast, and we're laughing, and I said, this is not funny, Maminga. Her statement, she received a statement from Samro for about 30-something rands. Imagine, a legend like Yvonne Chaka Chaka. So clearly there's something wrong here.
Yes.
So coming back, why would you just admit to a 3.4 million and to say, no, but these people in West, what made incense us, what West is that the same board and the executive were asking us as members to say, no, they've admitted to the guilt. So they've agreed to pay back the money, and then we thought of giving them amnesty. Do you know what amnesty means?
Yes,
amnesty means you cannot be prosecuted.
Prosecuted. Yeah.
But let me tell you about this white man. When you talk like that, they say, he's racist. No, I don't play a race card, and I never play a race card. I'm a child of God. I believe color has got nothing to do with it. It's the spirit that is in you that dwells in you that counts. So there's this white man, because of I don't want to lahla bantu, from Share Publishing, David Alexander. I'm mentioning him. We need to extradite him back into South Africa.
Where is he now? Dubai or California?
No, he's in the US.
In the US, okay.
Like Amagupta.
Yeah.
You know that man took about in the range of 11 million rands of our royalties. The very, very same board led by the chairperson, particularly the independent ones, they got him off the hook. I think they were pushing that he only repays 3 million to reach a settlement, and the chairperson was even a contributor in signing him off on his visa. So you tell me if and then how can we trust these people who are doing things like this? And I'm very privileged to get information because of, remember, as the chairman of the United Civil Society in Action, we are in the civil society, we are activists in the political space, fighting for the most marginalized. Yes. So we work with intelligence. And I'm not talking about state intelligence, but I'm talking about we get information. We search for information. Thank God other information comes to us. Yes. And then I know a lot of the dealings within the board that most members don't do. They don't actually
don't
know. They will never even know.
Yeah.
And I've called them out. I'm sure you know, about 2 weeks ago, there was a meeting called to amend the MOI.
Yes.
I got to know that it's only these 4 independents led by the chairperson, so the 3 independents plus the chair, who actually worked on the changes. The other 3 board members knew
nothing about it. Yeah,
they didn't even know that they were going to. They just like everybody else, they saw that there were workshops, and the CEO in that meeting, he was trying to defend the indefensible, and we collapsed that meeting.
Yes,
in fact,
I remember that. Yeah.
I'm sure by now 3 would have happened countrywide. Guess that exercise, it was an attempt to hijack permanently now Samro from us. Some of the clauses in there that they brought, people have not even read, was that if we nominate Tebogo Sithathu to be on the board of Samro, members say, hey, we want Tebogo, he's helping, he's informed, and this and that, then they can nominate me, good, but when I get there, the independent directors must be the one deciding on my fate to say, do we want him?
Regardless of what the members say.
Regardless.
So they still are holding their monopoly, where they are withholding information. They are not taking legal action against those that have stolen from the organization. And then they want to have the final say as to who
comes on the board. So that is total capture.
Yes.
So then, they would not allow for any musician, author or composer to chair the board of Samro. It will only be chaired by the so-called independents. So how can I have love for these people when they are we are captured already?
Yes.
Let alone that we have not been making money for Samro. Do you know how much money SABC alone pays per annum to Samro? Do you have an idea?
I think I've heard 200 and something million for 2022.
It's over $500 million, over 500 million per annum. Only SABC.
Yeah, not
and
all
I'm being conservative.
Yes.
I'm being conservative. I'm talking, could be 700 million.
Yeah.
I'm being conservative when I say $500 million. Only SABC. So don't you think that money is so enough for everybody?
It is, because it's literally money per play for the musicians. It's not money that's meant to just go to the board. It's money for musicians.
You understand?
So it's supposed to go back into the musicians' pockets, and that's the issue. How does it happen that you have these unclaimed royalties, undocumented
I'm going to come there.
Yes,
I'm going to come there. And this ties to what I was telling you about with David Alexander and how he did that.
Yes.
He did that heist.
The 11 million.
Yes. It ties to that unclaimed royalties, so-called.
Because I think it's very important that
it's called
people
undocumented
at home
works.
Understand
it's called
the undocumented works.
Yes. But here's the thing, and I want to remind people, and I reminded the CEO this morning and the chair to say that we've got musicians who died, who could have been saved with medical science.
Yes.
Vuyo Mukwena is one.
Yes.
Vuyo, Mzwake told me the story. I was there. It was when it was the days of Nicholas Motsatse as the CEO. So Samro is sitting on this money, and then here's Vuyo Mukwena, needs a surgery that is urgent, it's emergency. They asked for an advance. Samro refused. Vuyo died. So these are but few examples of how we've lost musicians. Some may have not come forth, but that is the story that I know. Because of Mzwake was dealing hands-on with that issue.
Yeah.
I still, and I reminded the CEO and the chair to say, we have cases like this.
A lot of cases where artists die and they don't have money to even bury themselves.
You understand?
Yeah, and Samro has money in it.
They have all the benefits you can think of.
Yeah, that artists
and the musicians don't have. And we are supposed to be a shareholder. A shareholder that doesn't see the money.
All the benefits.
Understand? So, let's come to the
yes, how does it, this money that they are stealing, they are taking, how does it happen that there's money that, here's SABC, they've paid out, let's say it's 500 million. It goes to Samro, a certain amount goes to artists, and then some just sits with Samro. How does it happen?
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
Musicians out there are making beautiful, good music.
Yeah.
Some are members of Samro, some have never heard of Samro, they're not members of Samro.
Yes.
SABC doesn't want to deal with Noltando, Tebogo as individuals, the twins, disruptors. No, they deal with a collective.
Yes.
So hence what we call the collecting management organizations, collecting societies were set up to deal with the music users like broadcasters and venues. So then because of SAPC, whether you are a member or not, they're gonna pay.
Their job
money.
is to pay for every song that plays, whether you're a member or not. So the SAPC takes
a portion of their advertising revenue. They give
pays it for all the music.
For all music that is being used. It's the responsibility of Samro and all the collecting societies to pay the members. And if people are not members, they have to pay those non-members. By the way, you don't have to be a member. But have you noticed that every time we say, it's like now, it's like a, what you call it? It's like a godly law that when you come into the you must join Samro.
That's what we all preach.
Yeah, because you're not going to get your royalties.
Because we want you to get your royalties. So we say, go join Kapas or go join Samro.
Absolutely.
Join all of the
Let me give you a typical, and I'm going to come back to that before I forget this. In the olden days, in the 80s, William Teto, you know Mr. Everything?
Yes.
Yeah, and all of that, and he sang gospel.
Yes.
His monies were diverted by his former record company, who actually told him in his face that if you don't allow for this, I will kick you out of my record company. Artists had no say.
Diverted to whom?
Directed to DJs in the radio stations that were playing the music as part of their paying a payola.
Yes, I've heard that. I won't name the DJs
they
that
know
were,
themselves.
Yes,
and so
in order,
and they put their family members to receive
the money. Yeah.
Guess what? William Teto won that case.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
The very suspended COO. He was relating the story when the COO was appearing at the CCMA. That this is a woman. In the last 20 years, nobody sorted out my case. This woman came within months. I was paid 480,000 of pension money. The money that was going into my pension fund was given to other people who had nothing to do with writing my songs.
Yes. So to break it down for somebody who doesn't understand, it means that the DJ plays maybe 3 to 6 slots.
Yes.
Says, I will play your song.
Yes, but you must pay me.
Put it on high rotation.
Rotation.
But you must pay me, but not just take money and give me 10,000 per month. Instead, you must put me down.
No. It was not their suggestion.
It was the record label.
The record label said, hey man, instead, you know what? To make this paying you easy, let's put you
down as a composer.
Yes.
So now you have rights.
But don't put yourself directly, put a family member.
Yes.
You see,
now you have rights to a song you didn't write. Simply because somebody wants the music played.
And the one who is writing it suffers.
That they don't receive money.
Isn't that evil?
It is. At the highest level.
Number 2.
So there's that money, which is good. We're tracing how do people take artists' money, right? So there's number 1.
So that's number 1.
Yes.
And then the unclaimed royalties is when people are not members of Samro or their monies are diverted in that way.
Yes.
And all of that. But let's talk about undocumented to break it down. Then after the SAPC pays, then Samro is their responsibility to find the people whose music has been used.
Yes.
Because SAPC will provide data.
Q-sheet,
the Q-sheet, the data to say, we played this song. So guess what? In this day of age and technology, are you telling me you can't find people?
Not to find. So SAPC comes and says this song belongs to Tebogo Sithathu. This is the name of the song.
Why don't you find Tebogo Noma he's done a song that is playing on high rotation.
And that you're getting paid for to go and make sure this money ends up in Tebogo's pockets.
Let me surprise you. I was shocked myself because I learned this about 3 weeks ago. Do you know? I said to someone, how much is sitting in the undog?
Yes.
He said, 100 million? I think it's a lot of money. 100 million? That person said, are you joking?
There's more.
300 million. 300 million sitting, generating 47 million interest, which we don't see. Artists are dying as paupers. We don't have a single festival funded by Samro. One that creates jobs for the industry. And then you're sitting on top of 300 million. And you're telling me you don't know whose money that is?
You can't trace the people. And also, if you can't trace the people, fine, you can't trace the people, but you could have programs, as you're saying. You could have programs that enrich artists. Those festivals with undocumented fans, after they've sat there for a certain period, maybe they can be or projects that enrich the artists themselves. The money should circulate back into the industry.
Create jobs.
Create jobs.
Since electronic music and stuff like that, I have no problem with my piano. I love my piano. And I think I'm very proud as a South African to belong to a nation that is so creative. Yes. But live music is dying. It can't die, it shouldn't die. Live musicians are suffering because there's no festivals. Because of people are programming a lot, performing Unpacked track. Why can't you have programs that are going to empower musicians and so that they can live, they can work? I was talking to Kanyo only Izolo, like literally yesterday, and I'm sure you've heard Babu Suluma has passed away.
No.
Richard Suluma passed away yesterday. Yesterday. In fact, no, the news broke yesterday. He passed away yesterday morning. Yes, and Skipper Shabalala, dad's partner, is the one who told me. So it's like, and there's a rumor also that he went for an advance at Samro and he was turned down. So Samro is clearly killing musicians in more ways than one. I keep on saying, why are musicians so calm, guys? What's wrong with me? People say I'm emotional and say,
no, you're not emotional.
How can I not be emotional? Of course I'm emotional. How can I not be emotional? Because of this is my passion.
Yes.
And I love people. I despise any kind of an injustice. I probably would not live longer during apartheid. Because I'm not the kind of person who looks away.
You've been there at the streets fighting, as you are now. I don't
look away at any injustice and say, no, it's not me, as long as it's not
as long as you're getting paid. Okay, so now we've established the undocumented works, which can happen when...
And by the way, Ishala for a certain period of time, 5 years.
And then what happens?
And then what? They don't find you, number one, they don't take the initiative. After that, your money, imagine it's 5 ungabe imali ebank for 5 years ebese ibank ithi ayithatha abasakunike yona bayinikeza abanye abantu ngoba you have not come to withdraw for 5 years. So that's what happens with their policy. After 5 years, the money is taken into what we call the main distribution. Guess who benefits from that? Big major publishers.
Labels.
Let me tell you, people who earn millions and hundreds of thousands, Samro, Nama Quality Society, is publishers. Artists earn 100 rand, 500 rand, 1,000 if you're lucky. Out of these millions, they are shared amongst publishers.
So they take it, then they split it equally amongst the publishers.
But market share.
Market share.
Universal's got more artists.
Yeah.
So they split to say, okay, SAPC has given us 500 million. Universal has got many artists. So they will get
30%
half of that.
Bonus,
they get 30% or 50% of that. And then Galo and Sony is the next one. But they've got this. So imagine, is that fair?
It's not fair. And I agree with you that artists are not outraged enough because it's money that's meant to come back to your pockets in one way or another. Instead of going back into the record labels and the executives, it should be enriching the artists.
They rip you off from the contract, from recording, you get ripped off even at your royalty stage.
At the collection, yeah. No, that's insane.
No, this is evil, guys.
It is evil. I want to read what you said you want to happen at this stage because I saw you had posted something and I'm like, this is exactly what he's calling for right now. So you're saying that, number one, you want to shut down the capture by non-musicians and
absolutely.
authors.
And who are the non-musicians? Is the so-called independent directors.
Yes.
Who are, by the way, not in the music industry.
At all.
They were brought in to bring good corporate governance.
Yes.
So musicians
are not educated.
We're not educated.
Yeah.
So we will bring you in with your skills. You come and mess us up and you want to capture.
And you enrich yourselves and capture. Yes. So first of all, shut that down, which means you want more musicians to be on the board.
We need to form the majority of the board.
Not musicians, but like the composers, the authors, the musicians.
And the composers.
The owners of the works.
The owners of the works must be forming the majority of the board.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Also because if they're complaining that artists are not educated, they are not informed, then incorporate them and empower them. Why not do that? Why keep them out?
And it's absolute nonsense. Musicians are very clever people. I mean, that's why we are creatives. If there's any skill that will never die, there's never been needed, stopped to be needed by the world, is the creative skills.
It will never die,
Yes.
Number two, only honest publishers can be trusted, let the forensic tell us. So you want the forensic report to be released?
Yes, because of secrecy breeds mistrust.
Yeah.
Let's get the full report so that we can know exactly what's happening. Also, if by say, for instance, we removed the poor publishers just because of their names were just mentioned, then we can correct it.
Yes.
We can give them an opportunity to come and make representation. Because we must believe in the Constitution to say you are not guilty till proven so.
Yes.
So what if other implicated people are implicated just by being mentioned?
Yes.
But when you delve deep and investigate, you'll find that actually they were not guilty.
They were not guilty. Yeah. So because you're saying it's not a fight against individuals.
No.
It's not a personal attack against people. It is an attack against the corruption. So
Yes,
whoever's linked to it and the system must be removed. Therefore, release the report so we know exactly who's linked and we can deal with those individuals.
Absolutely.
And then you said removal of, remove the overpaid chair and other
and the other directors. They're overpaid. I mean, where in the, the chair was making an argument when I said, this is how corporate works. So we're discussing something about, do you have a mandate? And I said, you are the chair of the board, so you obviously have a mandate.
Yes.
And when now you are the CEO, you lead the executive. Yes. So I said that's what happens in corporates. And he took offense and he said, no, but remember, we are not in a corporate, we are in a not-profit company. And I unfortunately had to leave for a flight. And I said, CEO, I wanted to challenge the chair on that. He's talking about we're not a corporate, but it's earning more than what chairpersons in corporates earn. So it's not in corporate when it suits him.
You can't make it work for you, yes. When it suits you, you're in corporate, you want to pay like a corporate. When it doesn't, it's not a corporate.
But one of my colleagues helped me to say, but we are governed by a Companies Act. Companies, whether you're a corporate or we are a non-profit company, it's the Companies Act that guides us on how to do things. So they're overpaid, definitely. 125,000 per meeting, 80,000 per meeting. They're wasting our money.
Yeah.
Imagine per year how much we pay.
Yes.
Imagine.
Yeah, there could be better uses
artists are dying as paupers.
Yes. Sure.
It's a crime scene there.
It is a definite crime scene. What's the latest on everything as we close this up? What is the current status and what are you hoping will happen?
They want to dodge the bullet.
Yeah.
They want to take our meeting. Our last meeting, by the way, just to mention, that lasted from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Extended general meeting of members was adjourned. It was not closed because we couldn't finish all the agenda points because of the poor chairing of the chair. That's why he must go. And then we agreed when we closed it, it's an adjournment of this meeting. The next thing, our meetings normally happen hybrid. If you can't come to Samro, you can go online. Yeah. So, but those of us who have energy, we want to be there in the room.
I know you want numbers in that room.
We want to, when we vote, we must show with our hands, not these nonsensical gadgets that we pay a lot of money for, but they rig elections.
They can be rigged. Yeah, you also want transparency.
Yes, yeah. So the next thing. The next meeting on Friday, guess what they're pushing for? It to go online, strictly online.
Yeah.
And that's why we met this morning. I said, you can't do that. You are now undermining us. You're taking us for fools.
Yeah.
I told my colleagues, I said, guys, I'm done asking. I'm demanding that we continue to have a meeting to express ourselves.
Yes.
And I'm appealing to you, CEO and Chair, do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't, you keep on saying we're gonna go online. We're gonna show up.
But if the members have requested as well for the meeting to be a physical meeting, why insist on going online?
If you say you respect us,
why
do you insist online?
Yes, because I understand the hybrid is also to benefit the members that cannot be present. But if the members are saying we want to see you physically,
so
then
what's wrong with that? It's our right.
Yeah.
It's our right.
Yeah.
You can't have a conference just online.
Yes.
To deal with very important matters.
Yeah. So at this point, have they agreed for the meeting to be
we told them, even if you don't agree, I told them, even if you don't agree, we are going to show up. You can be sure of that.
In numbers.
Yeah, I'm going to say this is our building.
Yeah.
We will come.
Yes.
So you better be prepared.
Yes. And on that day, you're going to vote for what's the agenda for the
day? One, we must remove the chair from chairing. He's not fit.
Okay.
He's implicated. Second, we remove him.
Completely.
We vote completely.
Yes, off the board.
He was supposed to finice next year. He's been there for 6 years. He's overstayed his welcome. He's messing up. Then we remove the other 3 independents.
Okay.
Then we are busy caucusing and identify credible, competent
Members,
people that will be vetted, that will fill in the gaps.
Yes.
But just for now, then as we set up this interim board, it's going to be interim from the when we install it up until December AGM.
Okay.
At the AGM, we elect a new board.
All
but
right.
the current 3 board composer members, we are going to spare them, because they've already made it clear to their colleagues to say, you guys are implicated. They've actually already asked them to resign.
Yeah.
They're refusing to resign. So it's not like they're quiet.
Yes, they have asked them to resign.
They've been silenced by this confidentiality nonsense that they were told to sign. So sometimes they do share information, but discreetly.
Yes.
It's just that now they're sharing with a person who can shut up.
Not discreet.
I come not. You see, I told them that. I said, guys, knowledge is power, right? That's a say. But I said, that's a wrong statement. It's power when you use it.
Mm-hmm.
You can have knowledge.
Problem.
You can have knowledge, but if you're keeping it to yourself, it's not powerful.
It's not power.
Yeah.
So I want to know, as we close off as well, and I think that's the beautiful line, that knowledge is power, but only when you use it, right? It's like you can be a powerful person, but if you don't exercise that power and use it, then it's pointless. So what do you want to happen? What do you want the general public to know about this, the general, the artists, most importantly, the artists.
The members, first of all, if you are a Samro member, you are in Gauteng.
Yes.
Come
on the 29th.
We have a date with destiny.
Yeah.
We're going to change Samro forever now. You see, it's not like before when we remove the board and we then we don't actually
follow up. Yes.
So this time we're setting up an oversight structure that's going to work with both the board and the management, the executive. So it's going to be called an advisory council.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I will be in that council. I've made it very clear. I'm not fighting for myself to be on the board, but I'm fighting to play an oversight role, so that I can keep check on what's happening. Exactly. We must take the responsibility. That we have to be responsible. Yes. Secondly, members must come. Those online, we are going to even insist that even online, you can raise your hand online. As full in a gadget. Members online, when we vote, they must raise this virtual hand.
Yes.
Will count with them.
And the members are anyone that has registered. Yes.
Because
so there should be numbers.
When we go into a meeting, there's credentials. Like when you go into a conference, they will tell you, you are a member, you are a voting member. When you are a member, but you're not a voting member. So, categories. But there's another crime we haven't spoken about, a proxy. You know, a proxy, where
you can give somebody else.
A publisher, let's say, Universal Publishing, all their artists, they are publishing them under them.
So they have the proxy to act on behalf of,
without even consulting the artist. They are using their votes to oppress their own artist without their artist
knowledge. So the call is for artists themselves to be present, to be active, to operate, use their power. They have power within the industry. Use it directly. Because I think a lot of the times artists get scammed and money gets stolen, and it's the manager did this, the record label did this, the publisher did this, the responsibility. But you're not taking the responsibility. I spoke about the gospel artists.
Have you seen the popular musicians who are doing very well?
Yes.
Just because of Babona, 200,000 yana, 200. They are still being chowed.
They could be getting even more.
Could be getting even more. So they need to start to take an interest in this thing. But there's gonna come a day when they are not on high rotation.
Yes.
And that money should be saved now.
Yes. Make your money when you're on high rotation.
Real money.
Yes.
Not a percentage of it, a fraction of it.
Yes.
So they must come one, come all.
Yeah.
We're going to transform Samro. And remember, this is only the beginning of the end. We still have other
more
collective
changes
society
to implement
in other institutions. So we've got our work cut out.
Yes.
And we're doing this for our generation and the future
ones that follow.
Generations.
Exactly.
If we don't do this, when Oltando, generations to come will have every reason to spit on our graves. Because of they will ask, Lenze, what did you do? Nenzane, when you found things this way. You just sat back and you carried on as if everything is normal. No, it cannot be. So another thing we're going to do after we install the new board, we're going to have that process, the proper one, of amending the MOI. To take back our power to us as musicians. Remember, publishers, as much money as they earn, they are not publishers without the musician.
They can't be, their job is reliant on musicians.
The fact that they are so powerful is because of their holding works, the administrating works of musicians. So it's about time that we demand our dignity back.
That's true.
And stop relegating our future and our children's future to amasela.
Yes. Under the guise of the executives know better. They're more educated. They know better. And then they take that education and that knowledge and they empower themselves.
Yeah.
So it's time for artists to stand up.
They must stand up.
Hopefully we will have a follow-up once you guys have implemented the changes. And I think also there's a lot of education that needs to go into just the details of how things work and where you're losing your money and where you should be, keeping your eyes when it comes to your earnings as an artist, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that we can have less and less artists dying poor or dying without dignity, when there is money out there that is supposed to go into the artist's pockets. Yeah. So your closing words, you can say it to camera or you can say it, closing words, mobilize your people.
Musicians, members of Samro, especially those who have voting rights, please, I'm begging you for your own sake, not for my own sake. Come one, come all. Gospel musicians, traditional musicians, particularly Maskandi, and everyone, single one of you, legends, come to this meeting. It's for your own good. You will thank God tomorrow. I mean, I'm just a vessel of God. You don't have to thank me, but you will thank God tomorrow. God has raised me up as one of the soldiers to lead this revolution. Yeah. And we will go down history to have done something remarkable for this country and for our children's children.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I look forward to
much.
having you again, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you guys at home for tuning in. If you've made it this far, then you really do care about the future of the music industry and you really do care about eradicating corruption within the music industry. So as you heard, artists, you have to take your careers into your own hands. Stand up, speak out, vote, make yourselves be heard. We are tired of hearing that people are exploiting artists only for the artists to be sitting back and not doing anything about it. So be like the disruptor and start speaking out and disrupting the industry positively to see positive change so that the legacy of all these artists that are creating music today can live on forever. Music lives on forever. Your kids and your kids' kids can still be earning from your R1 that you're making today, but they won't be earning if you are not making sure that you are protecting that R1 that you're able to make today. So from me, Nolu Malope, I hope you have subscribed. I hope you have commented and shared your thoughts. Let's follow up on the story and make sure that it doesn't die out. Because another thing that happens is that we are all outraged for a week or two, and then after that, it dies out and we never follow up. So this time around, we actually want to see change implemented and we want to see the music industry improving. From me, your host, until we meet again next time, goodbye.
I'm passionate because we are not here to just eat pap and solala.
Yeah.
So we are here to make a difference.
Yes.
And even more when you are born again like me.
Yes.
I wish people could understand this gospel. Ne?
Yeah.
Because of a lot of times in this world, when you are not spiritual and you are not well taught, you think the Bible is just a story.
Yes.
It's like a history book.
Yes.
And you even racialize it and say,
yes.
So, but you don't understand the power in that book until you understand.
Yeah.
But that's why you can't read it just like a book or novel or newspaper.
Yeah.
It's the word of God alive.
And it's the living word.
The living word. So the fact that I've always been an activist. Yeah. But when I got born again, I even understood my purpose.
Your purpose, because I think that's what happens.
Yes.
And I love what you're saying.
Yes.
It's not, sometimes you read the Bible as a storybook and it's something that happened in the past and colonization, they brought this book,
but
they want us to be enslaved.
This is modern umhlaba,
yes.
guys, because of, think about it. When you pass on, where do you go?
Yeah.
Could this just be the end?
Is this the end? Does it just black out?
Actually, no, it cannot be.
Yes.
Because we're spiritual beings.
Yes.
So we have to be living beyond this realm.
Beyond what today we see. And what we see right now.
And
if we believe that if we pass away, we're going somewhere, we also should believe that we came from somewhere.
Yeah.
We didn't just,
you understand?
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Which then is attached to purpose.
Absolutely.
Yes, so, and you living out your purpose by
contrary to a lot of beliefs that you go here, then you're going to be sitting somewhere directing people with remote to say, do this. No, I'm sorry for those, but we were once there. Yeah. I'm not saying this to belittle people's beliefs. I say it because of we were once there.
Yes.
And And once we were blind, we didn't see.
Yes.
And I used to be one of the most very difficult critics of the Bible and the gospel, actually. And before I awakened before God opened my eyes, I never used to see this thing. So I will not blame those who don't see it. It's just that your spiritual eyes ought to be opened.
They ought to be
but
opened.
they just don't open. And hence we intercede.
Yes.
People don't understand. There's certain leaders I don't like. But the Bible says you should pray for them.
You should pray for them regardless.
If you want, and you don't pray for them because of you like or you dislike them, because of if you want a peaceable life, for us to have peace in the world, we must understand that if we don't pray, then we will not saturate the atmosphere with the Spirit of God. And something else is going to give.
Yes.
There's not going to be a vacuum. So if it's not the Spirit of God, it's going to be the spirit of Satan.
Yes.
Just like it engulfed the world with this COVID nonsense. I almost use another Zulu French word. But which I like very much, and people say Yatugano, some say, but Swana, Buloko. You know what's Buloko?
No.
Kauda.
Kauda. Yeah.
So bullshit. So I don't know why people say that's a swear word, but be that as it may. Be that as it may.
Yes.
COVID was a big scam. Climate change is a huge scam. You see, when you are well taught, you know these things. But you don't just know them with your intelligence.
You know them from
by
a
the
spiritual
spirit.
perspective.
A lot of things are a big scam. The cashless society that we see that's been introduced slowly but surely, it's going to give you a digital ID. So you can imagine an electric car or your phone or your lights. Say you've got a technology in your home. You can switch off and switch on lights from wherever you are. You can control things from wherever you are. So imagine if you've got a digital ID. Don't you think you'll be under so much control?
So
I just thought I should paint that picture so people understand that the gospel is real. Because more often than not, people go into the church, they listen to the gospel and they leave it there. They don't see the reality of it happening outside and beyond the church walls. And the church, by the way, is not those walls. The church is the body of Christ.
It's the body of Christ, it's the people.
So I think going back to your question, I just thought I should give that
context, which I love because primarily we are a Christian platform, primarily.
Hallelujah.
So
we need more like
this
that.
is exactly it, right? Primarily we're a Christian platform. Primarily we focus on gospel as well.
Hallelujah.
But when there are issues, because it's both things, it's Christianity and then it's the music industry and the entertainment industry at large. So whenever there's something that touches one of those areas, like right now it's like the music industry is being hit by a bug.
Even more amazing, because and abazalwane need to start to wake up more. You need to be very active in what's happening in your world.
You have to be knowledgeable.
The Bible says
and
we
active.
are the light of the world. We've got a great commission. But the biggest shortcoming of Christians, not because of them, but because they are not well taught, is to be taught.
And what happens when my people perish due to the lack of knowledge?
Absolutely.
So we need to be taught.
When you don't know who you are, you will always be subdued by the world. So more often than not, Tinabazalwan, we want to preach to the converted. We want to preach as on twin. But Jesus never gave us that commission. He said, go into the world and preach the gospel to everyone. Creature. So meaning to everything. So so we need to understand the impact that we've got, and it talks to what you're saying. In the Mzwakhe Mbuli, the legendary Mzwakhe Mbuli himself, wrote another statement which actually shook the industry because he was complaining about gospel musicians. Mzwakhe Mbuli is born again. Many people don't know.
No, we don't. I don't think he's vocal about it.
No, maybe not as vocal.
Yes.
But I think he needs to be more. But
he needs to be more,
because I'm close to him to a point.
What was his statement that he said?
The statement, he was complaining about where are the gospel musicians in the Samro battle?
Nowhere to be found. And one of the issues...
Who's the most powerful, most selling music in the world, for God's sake, let alone South Africa?
Yes.
So how can they be sitting back
at this time when it's their money?
As if it doesn't affect them.
As if it's not their money.
Let me tell you something that they don't know, which I shared with colleague. You remember I used to run the Gospel Music Association, which I founded.
No, but this is why. Remember the first question? We haven't answered the first question. So
I'm a disruptor, so I'm disrupting the program.
Yes, but I want you to finish this, and then we're going to go back to
so
that you can explain who you are in the industry and people have context.
Thank you.
But finish off what you're saying now.
Yeah, so most money, the money that is being chowed by the majority, if not all, I would be very dubious not even to think that all of them, they are ripping artists off.
All of who?
All of the royalties collecting societies. Samro being the oldest and the biggest elephant.
Yeah.
So there was Dr. Graham Gilfidem. We used to call him Squire. A white man in a let me say a black man in a white skin. You know those kind of belung.
Yes.
This guy, he's the one who actually opened. God sent him, and that guy was a traditionalist. I tried many times preaching the gospel to him. I just needed to pray more to get his soul, spirit. May his soul and spirit rest in eternal peace. Because we buried him about 2 years ago. But he had a doctorate in copyright law. He's the one that unraveled it all for me. God used him to mentor me. I never knew. There's this old thing called DP. So DP is a term for works that are either traditional or amatlilongo or traditional music. Is mainly in the traditional music sector. So wherein if you like your so when she does a song, a gospel that is known
like a hymn.
And so the hymn, you know what Samro would do? They would not pay 100% composition to her, her kind of what we would call a remix. So the full adaptation. They will take a huge chunk of a percentage and only give gospel artists, all of them, or traditional musicians, less percentage than the popular songs that people compose from scratch, which is wrong.
However, it's not supposed to be wrong theoretically, because the money is then supposed to go to the original composer, because that's the fight. The fight is it's a hymn, it's a remade song of an original composition.
Absolutely.
But the question is, does that money get to the original composers?
We'll come to that.
Yes.
But here's the point I'm trying to make. DP is actually what we call public domain. So the works are in public domain. So here's the catch. If something is in public domain, it's out of copyright protection. So it's like, copyright law says in South Africa, we protect your song 50 years after you have passed on. After 50 years after you've passed on, the song goes back in the public domain. Then the point is that when you redo the song in your own way, you're supposed to be
somebody
paid.
Somebody else gets paid now.
So somebody else say, I've got copyright. Rebecca now has got copyright. So why, when she uses a song that is in the public domain, outside copyright protection, and then you don't give them everything, but you take that percentage is not going anywhere to the so-called owner. So to answer your question,
it's not going to the owner.
It sits in Samro. Guess where it's going? Major, multinational publishers, Sony, Universal. So the money goes literally outside the country because of where are these guys from? Their head offices are in New York somewhere. They are not a South African company. Sony is not a South African company. It's a multinational. So it's universal.
This is a very important important one, because I think there's a gray area that we
have not even dealt with it.
It hasn't. It's not even why you are here today. But this is very important.
What I'm trying to say is that musicians, particularly traditional music and gospel, they've lost billions since Samro was formed due to this thing.
But it's also lack of knowledge and understanding, because what I mean by the gray area that exists is that we are of the belief that the copyright belongs to whomever wrote the song. So when I come ngizenzele nami ingoma and it's already in public domain, yes, I'm okay with getting a small percentage because I believe the money is going to someone.
What I'm referring to, DP is different from that. Because of, yes, when the copyright is still with the owner, but 50 years after,
now it's
after
DP
the death,
when it's 50 years after.
After, it means it's no more in the copyright protection. You see the difference?
Yes. I didn't know. Right?
A lot of people
don't know that part.
Yeah. Especially gospel musicians, traditional musicians. But like we said earlier on, my people perish
due to the lack of knowledge.
People think you perish because of you don't have knowledge.
You don't know. So what you're saying with regards to this is that there has to be a fight to reclaim
and
the royalties so that the artists that then, if now that's 50 years.
Jerusalem, for instance. You know, I challenged the chairman of Samro, the current one, Leosis Umsusa.
Yes.
That you pay full royalties on Jerusalem. And he said yes. And I said, what's the difference with the other gospel tracks?
Yes.
He said, no, but this one is more of a composition. But the previous CEO, the one before the previous one, the one before, two backwards. Notando Migogo. When I asked this question in an annual general meeting of members, her response was insufficient. She said, we would have to hire musicologists to go through the songs and determine
whether it's the same copyright.
You don't need a musicologist. Musicians can tell you.
Yes.
So and I said, oh. So you've been doing this for over the years based on that lousy reason?
Explanation and keeping the money for yourselves, because that's
keeping
the
money
danger.
for yourself,
The danger is
and it goes the wrong way.
Somebody's getting paid.
And it's not even keeping for yourself. It goes end up going overseas, benefiting people that are not even South African.
Yes.
Isn't that the crime of the highest order? You have been discharged with a responsibility to look after musicians' money in this country. And I said, you are not Samro. You should actually be called AMRO, American Music Rights Organization, because you're not looking after South African musicians at all. But let's go back.
Yes.
Sorry to disrupt you.
And we're going to come back to this because I think it forms part of these unclaimed royalties. This part of where do they get this money that they are taking.
But it's different. We'll talk about the undocumented, the unclaimed royalties. It's a different part from the DP that we've just spoken about.